view as the primary focus. And so we're going to go through, a little bit about myself first. I am a delivery director, as Megan mentioned. I run a new ventures team within CSOLs, which has a data analytics team within it. And my specialty, I've been working in this space for quite a long time, but my specialty is really in complex global efforts, whether that's program and project management, system analysis, strategic planning, and kind of all the inner workings within. And I've had the great pleasure of working in a variety of industries so that I can not only look across an organization, but I can look across industries as well to find similarities in approaches and system use and business processes. For today, we're going to go through, as I mentioned, kind of the umbrella of digital transformation, what it is, why you should bother with it, what the possibilities are around that. It's not going to be focused on digital transformation, but really more of the data aspects within that. And then I personally find it easier to follow these sorts of things with a tangible example. And so we're going to walk through a use case focusing on a contract manufacturing organization, do a little bit of a recap, and then I'll pass it back over to Megan to do a Q&A for us. Thought a good place to start is with the definition of digital transformation. I took a poll to see how much consistency there was in understanding what this is or how it's understood. I asked colleagues, former colleagues, my good friend Google, and I've put a couple of responses here. And through all of them, even beyond what you see here, there's some common themes. There's moving to the digital world, modifying processes, updating systems, adding systems, but ultimately improving decision-making throughout the organization was prevalent across everyone's responses. For CSOLs and for our data and analytics team, we really view transformation as reimagining what's possible for your organization. It's an incredible opportunity. It's no longer kind of a framework that's a buzzword. It really is an imperative for organizations. And we view it as laying down the foundations for what's possible, right? And everything is included in digital transformation. The people who do the work, the processes, how they do their work, the tools they use to do their work, and then preparing and looking forward towards laying a foundation for what's not yet known, right? That's incredibly critical to this effort. You don't want to transform into just what you can see. You want to transform into something that will be adaptable to the future, okay? And for us, the core of digital transformation is the data. You need to understand that information, as we call it, kind of the core backbone, but you need to understand the information of your organization and set yourself up to be able to derive the value from it and set your organizations up so that the culture has a data mindset, so that everyone has access to that data in a similar way so that they can pull insights out. And so we sort of view it as decoupling the data tied to the people, processes, and systems. And this will help you set that foundation in an improved, more efficient way. Why bother? This is always the question, right? It's certainly a daunting effort with digital transformation. It's not an easy task. It requires collaboration. It requires a view across the organization. It requires a lot of discussion and compromise and things like that. And so there's a lot of reasons for doing it, but I sort of broke it out into some threats and opportunities with it. And to me, some of the key threats are ever-changing technologies. We saw hardware move to the cloud. We saw software move from your desktop to the cloud to software as a service. Now we're seeing efforts with data as a service, right? There's a lot of technologies that head you towards AI and machine learning and all that, but how do you even get there, right? And how do you set yourself up so that these changes aren't so massively impactful to your organization? Mergers and acquisitions are on the rise in some industries, not so much in others. But with acquisitions, there comes a great deal of effort with regards to system rationalization and separating the data off, right? If you spin off an arm because they've been acquired or sold, if you acquire an organization and blend it with yours, there's a lot of effort around the information and how to manage that information so that you head towards the future and blend but also respect the historical data that needs to be viewed alongside. And then we often hear that our clients are frustrated that they can't find the data. They can't draw upon or past experimentation because they just can't find it, or worse, the effort to figure out what the information means is so challenging that it's easier for them to just start over, to not leverage what's been done to date. And the same thing goes with the last component, which is reinventing of the wheel, right? If I can't find what's been done to date, if I can't easily figure out how to leverage that, I'm just going to start from scratch, right? So you can imagine the amount of value that's lost in organizations today by lots of disparate data efforts and activity going on. And so if digital transformation works well, or even gets you part of the way, then technology is more easily adaptable in the future. You can find the data. There's a data mindset culture that can pull insights out through a sort of self-service approach, right? They have access to it and they understand it, and then the tools are available to them. And what that does is it allows you to tap into that hidden potential of your data.